Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right, guys, let's go ahead and first off hit the December 9th. And bear in mind, we're at the end of December the 8th right now in my time zone, but I know some of you watch this and you are in time zones that are further ahead than my own. Hence, me trying to stay just a little bit ahead in our countdown to Christmas. So I'm trying to get the puppy dog out, and there we go. Oh, baby German Shepherd. How cute. All right, our winners. And by the way, remember that because yesterday I did an extra video as well. I said we'd have an extra winner. Also, technically today is my Monday. So we have a Monday winner in addition. So we have a couple of extra winners. So we have Jeannie Vale. We have Brody 6991. We have Dragon Fortnite and Silver Linings. So all of those names will become the names that I will do a storytelling for in the video that I will post after this, and there will be a free link in the description box for those names. Okay. Thank you guys so much for being here. So just so you guys know, as soon as I'm done doing this live video, then the comments will be available, and that's where you guys can just type the word heal in the comment section. That gets you entered to win for tomorrow. And we're just doing 2 winners every day for the advent calendar countdown to Christmas. Okay. 1 member, 1 non-member, but like I said, we had to do a little extra. Now this particular video, this is one of our specific messages, and I start these out with something that pops into my head, and I was picturing somebody, I don't know if it was a masculine or a feminine, but somebody was like really intently, like looking closely, either at like they expanded, a picture or something on their phone so they could look closely at the image of somebody, or they were holding like a small keepsake item or a gift that was given to them, and they were, like very much lost in thought. I will also say, and I didn't write this in the title of the video, but it felt clandestine. It felt like somebody goes someplace quiet when it's just them, and it's like whatever on the metro ride to work or something where there's nobody else around them that they know who will interrupt them. That's when that's like their little free time to like look at an old photo or look at some gift. But it just felt like there's a lot of reminiscing. Now I don't know what this person is thinking about when they're staring at or reminiscing, and that's I think the direction we'll take this. Hi everybody, so great to see you all. Hi, Ramon, Luminous Marina, Tina's just passing time, Carol, Feeling My Soul, Myra J, Moonbeam Wendy, hey, babe. Hi, guys, Carol, Annette, Piashatat, Jantharat. I'm sorry, I know I botched your name badly, my dear. I apologize. And I'm sure it's a beautiful name, so please forgive me for my clumsiness there. But it's really nice to have you guys here. I'm delighted you guys are visiting. Moonbeam Wendy, also just know you were one of the winners, I think, just now as well, if I remember right. Sorry, my brain moves fast, or maybe it moves slow. In the members corner. So if you didn't check that out, definitely do. Hi guys, great to see you all. All right, let's go ahead and ask then, what is this person contemplating? What is on their mind? What is the thing that they're staring at and losing kind of track of time as they stare at this? 8 of Swords, Hanged Man, Emperor. Oh boy. Whatever this is that they look at, it symbolizes for them the place that they are trapped, the memory that they cannot escape, something that they really want. And for whatever reason, they seem, both of these cards are stuck, and there's an energy of like, I'm martyring myself. This is where I want to be, but I'm not allowed to go through that castle gate. But that's where I'd be if I could ever, this is who I want to be. So maybe this is, they hold on to a photo of a place that they wish they could move, or, if only I could have that job, or something that they fantasize about becoming. It could also be, it has to do with someone that they wish that they could be with, but I don't know if this is like, but mom and dad wouldn't approve. Look, all my stories are about full-grown adults. And if somebody is saying, I want to be the emperor and do this, but that's who I would be if only I could, but I'm stuck. The Hanged Man, because it comes with an energy of martyrdom, which I do not support at all. I loathe even the word martyrdom. I think it's a very bad thing. I'm going to say this person, I have a hard time believing that they would be the emperor of anything if they're saying, I would do this if only I could. And I stare at this thing that I long for. And I stare at this thing that symbolizes the life I wish I could have if I were, you know, if only. We have the Hierophant. You know what's crazy though? Every time they look at whatever this is, whether it's a photo or whether it's an object, they have a little bit more of an awakening. What are you, I mean, there must be a reason that they keep going back to this and they keep saying, you know, this is where I'm stuck. This is what I'd like to have. This is what I would be if only I could be these things. If only I could have this. Seven of Swords sideways. They are starting to have a breakthrough that there is a lie that they are still living. And if it's a lie that they are living and they're aware of it a little bit more every time they look at this photo, it gets harder and harder to live a lie. It's more and more difficult when your crown chakra opens up and you say, I know this isn't right. Okay, but what part isn't right? Are you wishing that you could like go in a certain direction? Are you wishing Six of Cups? Okay, so they want to return to a soulmate. They would like to cycle back around. They would like to go around, reverse, have a second opportunity, bring something back. Are you wanting to go back to your glory days, or is there a soulmate that you want and you're realizing, why could I not go back to that? Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords says I would have to cut myself free from something else. Can we backtrack for just a second and say, what is it that you're staring at? What do you get lost in thought while you are, observing? Ace of Wands sideways, something they were passionate about. Hanged Man again, something that they couldn't choose. And it's weird because this is like a mirror, a looking glass, and the Chariot, a place that they wanted to go, a place that they desired, a version of themselves they wanted to become. Maybe this is somebody who looks at a photo of themselves during a moment in their life where they were very, very happy. And they're like, if only that could have been where I was. Now, this could also be a photo of themselves with somebody. And they're like, I was so happy with that person. That's where I should have had my family unit. I was going to move to be with that person. I was going to uproot my life. I was going to cross continents and go be with the person that I loved. I was going to change my whole life because there's this picture of me and them. I was really happy. And that's when I had a plan. Back then I had a plan, but now there's cobwebs over it. I'm still trying to ascertain, does a soulmate card, that Six of Cups, because that could just be nostalgia. It doesn't have to be that it's a person. It could have been a lifestyle that they wish they were still in. But let me just ask, do you have a person that you were in love with? Does that Cancerian card of the Chariot where we see a, like a mare and her a mare and her colt, full colt. I'm sorry, I couldn't pick which one to go with. Is that the person you wish you had kids with? Ace of Swords again, 10 of Cups. Okay, so I'm going to say it was the family that they wish that they had. They wish that they had literally maybe created an entire life. We could have had kids. We could have had the whole 9 yards. We could have had family dinners together. That was a life that I cut myself out of. And yet that's the life I have pined for all this time. It's the story that never got filled in. You notice how it's just sketched out, but there's no color here. But they knew this was their happiness. So let me ask you this. Why did you not just pick your happiness? Instead, you sit and you keep looking at a photo, which now I will say it was probably a photo of you and that person, that soulmate. So you've hung on to this. Actually, let me ask this. Is this a secret? Is this a secret that you've held on to? Is this a photo that nobody knows you still have? Queen of Coins. Queen of Pentacles. So this could be their person. Because pentacles are things that we plant. Well, not pentacles, but pentacles represent things that have to grow. So things like plants, things that we would plant. And you don't see a seed when you first plant it, but when you water it, it starts to grow more. And so I'm thinking that this certainly could have been something that they've hidden from everybody for a long time. If there's a photo or just even a memory, they planted it somewhere in here or deep in their heart, but it's been growing and it's starting to, like bust out into this like glorious, gigantic, whatever, ficus tree or something. The thoughts of this Queen of Coins have been ever expanding and blossoming and branching. And I just feel like even if they are in a place where they're like, I didn't tell anybody this is where my heart was. And in particular, did they never tell like their family that I'm in love with somebody, but I can't be with that person? I don't know why. We'll get to that in just a minute. Death card. Yeah, this person can't live in a lie anymore. And the more they look at a photo or some memento, the more it's like it solidifies and it awakens them every day more and more to the fact that I pine for that life that I didn't choose. Okay, so let's ask, why did you not choose it? Why did you martyr yourself instead? And I just keep thinking there's something about like mom and dad's approval. If only I were, oh God, what's that song? If I were a man of means. I feel like it's from I don't know, like I'm a man of means by no means, king of the road. There we go. I was going to say, it feels like a joke song or something like that, or from like a vaudevillian act or something. It's not really, though. I think it was played on the radio. I'm a man of means by no means, king of the road. So I say, why did they not just pick the life that they wanted? I don't know if they thought that their parents had to guide them or if they were guided down a different path. How could you have been guided down a different path if it made you freaking miserable? And Two of Wands. See, again, somehow they came to a precipice in their life where they're like, I don't know which path to take. I need guidance. So did you turn to like family for advice instead of like, oh man, dude, keep your counsel. Nobody knows what your heart wants but you. I'm sorry. I'm going to be opinionated. Surprise, surprise. Please bear in mind, I'm a fictional storyteller. But I'm also a person. So as I watch these stories unfold, it's like I'm watching a movie and I'm weighing in on the characters, eating popcorn, chucking little handfuls of popcorn at the screen when I don't like it. So bear in mind, that's how I tell a story. But I think, how can anybody tell you what your heart feels? That's between you and that little hunk of meat in your chest. You have to figure that out. You don't go looking for other people to tell you. Nothing wrecks your life faster than asking other people, what does my heart want? What is good for my heart? This feels like somebody should have found their own identity and sorted it out themselves rather than asking for guidance, because people are going to give you their guidance. They're not going to give you guidance for you. Even well-meaning, wonderful people are not going to tell you what you should do. They're going to tell you what they would do if they were you. So it's well-meaning, but it's not going to be for you because you ain't them and they ain't you. I don't know. That's why I'm always like, oh, think for oneself. Think for oneself. Question, ponder, bounce ideas around. But ultimately, you got to pick. Always, everything in life, you kind of got to pick, because guess who has to deal with the repercussions of one's actions? You. So always choose the thing you can live with. 9 of Wands sideways. They didn't want to. Maybe they were too wounded to pick something. Maybe if they asked somebody else for guidance, and here's a real problem, because this person is sitting here on their knees. And the reason I keep defaulting and saying, did they ask parents, do you think I could leave and go be with somebody that I love? And the parents might have been like, well, see, you're pretty weak and you're down here on your knees. And we don't really think so. Sometimes other people can tell us what they think is wrong with us. And that again could be their perception, because many times lives change, eras change. People have expectations from their generation that no longer apply to our generation, or they have their own perceptions of what they want, like a son or daughter to be. And then if the son or daughter isn't like living up to their preconceived notions, then they'll be like, oh, but see, that's where, you're not that strong in this and blah, blah, blah. It feels way coddly to me and overbearing, but unfortunately they welcomed that in. They set themselves up for that. They listened to somebody who said, you know, poor you. It's almost like well-meaning coddling, but at the same time, guys, I'm sorry. I know that just did a buffering. I've done some long videos today, and I always think that it kind of bogs down a little bit. But in any case, we've had pretty decent connection for like a month and a half, so I've been grateful. But I don't know. This comes across. This is our little gnome has like wild eyes on here, and it almost feels like maybe this character. Look, this is a very gray-haired character to still be a page. This does feel like somebody who either never quite felt like they were mature enough to make their own decisions. Like I almost wonder if the scenario that they found themselves in always made them feel like they were somebody's little kid who needed to ask permission, even if they actually have gray hair by now. It, and I'm not saying this person failed to mature. I'm saying maybe this was a state of mind that, or a scenario where they were raised in a certain environment where this is how they thought about themselves because it's all they ever knew. I don't know if this person was manipulated into believing that other people had, and like family and parents had better ideas for their life than they did, or if like, oh, you don't make good decisions, you're too impulsive, so therefore we all have to make your life decisions for you. And they like bought into that for a period of time. This is them wanting to bust free. Look, maybe something has backfired. Maybe if some bad advice or controlling kind of advice from those parental figures is, oh no, you have to, don't do that. You're not ready to make your own decisions. You should drop the person that you love and retreat into your cave and maybe not even date anybody. If they got that advice and they followed it, ironically, what may have happened is they healed not from, whatever the parents said, you're not ready to have a relationship, you shouldn't date, but maybe they healed from the parents' control, because this is them busting free. So it could have actually had maybe a better impact, maybe meeting somebody, falling for somebody, then feeling like I can't choose that because parents or, whomever, it doesn't have to be parents, it could be a community, it could be whomever they turn to for advice, who gave them advice that no, you shouldn't do that. You should be alone. You need to heal. You're broken. What's crazy is what they healed from was listening to other people. So honestly, that kind of sounds amazing. It sounds like a backfire of what was intended. I think, I don't know, how is the group going to handle if this person actually is like, I think I'm waking up and I'm busting free every day a little bit more and more. 8 of Swords, 5 of Cups sideways. All I can say is beware, character, because they're going to try to keep this character stuck again. What? No, you'll only get a broken heart. You don't want to go after the person that you love. No, you should stay right here. Come back into the cave where it's safe. Come back here. I feel like there was a very manipulative, stuck, fearful person giving them very poor advice. Somebody who either didn't want them to move forward. This could have even been like a friend who was like single and wanted them to stay single so they didn't feel, alone. Whatever this was, terrible advice. And it looks like they're going to do another round of, no, you should stay stuck. Come back to the cave. You'll only be brokenhearted. This is not somebody supporting a character's growth at all. But thankfully, I think that they figured this out. I think he figured this out. With that, remember, he had the Death card over here. And this thought of the Queen of Pentacles and this, awakening that we had with the Hierophant every day a little bit more and more. And this is him realizing I surrendered a love story of my life, the soulmate of my life, because I was told that I wasn't going to have success and I really should retreat because I was broken. Somebody told me I was broken and I believed it, so I retreated. When I didn't tell me I was broken, somebody else told me that and I just bought into it. Okay, so he's breaking free. What does this mean? Let me see. What does this mean? Red and Albert show. Hey, honey. So, Anita, just know you were one of our winners this week in the members video. Okay, so there's a storytelling that's timestamp for you in the members video. We have an Ace of Sacred Circles. Totally, like he's drawn a line. He is busting free. He is making a move. We see him going through that energy vortex. We see him choosing as the fool to take the leap, and we see him doing his life differently. I even think he may cut off those people that used to, like, he felt like he had to bow and, ask permission from and ask advice from, because if they're instantly reverting back to, no, get back in the cave, he's not listening anymore. I believe he's busted free. Death card again. He couldn't possibly unhear what his heart now knows, what the crown chakra now knows. He couldn't unsee it, unknow it, or undo what he needs to do. He's following his North Star now. Thank goodness. Let me just ask this. Has it been a long time since you talked to your soulmate? Has it? Because it seems like you were in retreat mode for quite some time. Ace of Swords sideways. It's like he's coming out of a long sleep. Like everything was foggy. His head was fuzzy. When I say, has it been a long time? I don't even know if we could say it in like a word that has to do with time, because it's almost like he's a different person. Two of Sacred Circles. It also says time is actually irrelevant here because they are forever interwoven. And I always look at this as Ursa Major. I look at this as, something from the cosmos where these two are interwoven in the stars. They are two hearts that are, for what it's worth, they're balanced no matter what. And they are with infinity. They are always going to impact each other. They're always going to find each other in every lifetime. And maybe sometimes they don't get reincarnated as people. Maybe sometimes they're, like a lot of people refer to like their pet as their soulmate, and pets can certainly be. So, I mean, Aries is like my kid that I didn't have, so he is many things. He is my little protector, my little doggy, but he's also the kid that I didn't have. He was what I got to nurture, and it feels like, not to say like, in the next life, Aries will be a person and he will be my actual child. But, we put a certain like kindred spirits and, say, oh, this person or this, living entity has their own little soul and you just know it. I would say that that's how it is for these two. And so time and space and distance doesn't necessarily matter. Now for them, this is probably a love story. In every story or in every lifetime, but there could be something here about like the kindred spirit. The bear represents wisdom, and I'm wondering if one or the other of them has like like the word bear or teddy bear or some kind of symbolism that has to do with a bear, and that could be one or the other of them, their spirit animal, but they actually kind of show up sometimes like as a symbol of a bear, but really they're like, oh, that's my person. When I think of them, sometimes I see an image of a bear, a grizzly bear, whatever it is, there's something here that could connect, or like I say, connect to Ursa Major, the great bear in the sky, the Big Dipper. We have the Wheel of Fortune upright in the Six of Swords. This relationship should have already come into union a long time ago, right? The Aries ate this card when he was a pup, so there's a big chunk missing, but I always still use it because it says the Wheel of Fortune says it's time now, but it also says it was time a long time ago and that time has been squandered. However, this character, they needed to heal from this. They needed to acknowledge that they were already done. Again, we have this crown chakra opening. They needed to acknowledge that they didn't need the input from other people in this lifetime to tell them when they were allowed to have a relationship in their life. I'm not really sure what happened, why he seemed to have like been looking for answers outside himself or deferring to others or martyring himself. when all he really needed to do was heal from that. Maybe it was just he was told he didn't make good decisions and he just believed it for a period of time. But he needed to move on and maybe gain more independence. And he knew it all this time. But again, you know what? The opportunity is still here. These two have plenty of life still. So it's not too late for this connection. It's not too late because, in truth, if it didn't happen in this lifetime, it'll happen in the next, or the one after that, or the one after that. Because in every lifetime, these two are looped by infinity. They always find each other. I mean, ideally, characters would not miss out on opportunities. But if this is one of the many lessons that they needed to learn, because of one another, then hey, it's worth it, right? Let me get one more here. Temperance. It is definitely time for peace for these two. It's finally time for balance and harmony, just like we saw with that infinity symbol. So let me just ask then, Queen of Pentacles, right? That's who their soulmate is and was. Queen of Pentacles, are you welcoming them back in? Will this be something where it's like, okay, well, you're home now? Seven of Cups, yeah. The Seven of Cups says there's so many different timelines and so many different ways something could play out. But at this point, two people are looking into the same cup, the same goblet. I know it seems crazy how if somebody couldn't choose a relationship before and now they're going to waltz back in and it's like, oh, cool, you're here. Let's do this now. The only thing is in this story, it is that simple. The past doesn't matter. The other timelines don't matter. What matters is the now. And so at this point, we're both looking into the same cup. We're both going to pick the same timeline. That means you're here. Let's go ahead and do this. There's not even a, like, well, you should have been ready before, shame on you, blah, blah, blah. There's none of that. There is this simple acceptance that, oh, so this is what I was thinking. Do you think that we should do this? I think this would be really fun. It just kind of feels like they pick up almost like it doesn't feel like time had been lost. And I know that sounds crazy, but that's what we have. And it's because we're looking at this more with the grand scheme of things in the big timeline of life and many lives, the many lifetimes that we live. Because remember, these two have the infinity symbol. This is not going to play out like a standard story where there's human expectations, because these two are kindred souls that are connected by something more than just this lifetime. So they don't have to abide by the same expectations to have things work. They look at it as timelines. In one lifetime, we didn't get to choose each other, and maybe again and again and again, but this time we finally get to. Is it late in the game? Yeah, but you know what? Doesn't matter. Finally, this is the two of us right here and right now in this opportunity. So let's just go with it. They don't look at life the same way. And maybe it's because this is a very spiritual connection, the past life soulmate connection. Maybe that's why something different, off tempo, completely works for them. And we don't have the standard, like, okay, well, you're going to have to, earn your way back into my life, or, why couldn't you have chosen me before? There's none of that. There's simply the now. Now we have the time, so let's rock. I kind of think there's not even need for apologies or backtracking. It's like, can we just get on with it then? Let's just do this. And so they do. It's kind of refreshing to have a story where there's not all the falderall and all the how do we make this up and how do we rebuild and how do we, because the truth of it is there wasn't even a chance for them to have built until this point in time, even though the love was there. And now that there's nothing blocking it, it's like, okay, all systems go. Let's just get moving. It's kind of a relief. You guys, thank you so much for being here. Loving Light Libra, thank you so much. You were so generous. Thank you for that, babe. That was really kind. Bobby Harris, I hear you. Carol, great to catch you, babe. Thanks for being here. Orion Star, Chris, Brian Van Winkle. Nice to see everybody. Hi, sweet. Excuse me. I did not know that. Sweet. So Arctos, the Great Bear Arctos and Antarctica, which means no bears. Badiri, hi, honey. Thanks so much for being here. Empress Unicorn 111, great to see you. Michelle for love. Awesome to catch you also, honey. Dwanette and Calm C. I wish I doodled. Nice to see everybody. Hi, Wendy E. Yes, and Juanita. Hi, Tan Jagger. Good morning to you also. RT, thank you for being here. All right, everybody. Hi, Annalie. Delighted you made it to a live tonight. Sorry, no, this is way later than usual on this channel. Brave Pink Hair All Green. Nice to catch you. Hi, Chenna. Slave Princess. AC. Hi, babe. Moonbeam Wendy, that's hilarious. You've been watching my videos from last year. Oh, that's awesome. You must be going through the playlists because that's an easy way to backtrack for sure. Hi, Cornelia Heck. Awesome, Moonbeam Wendy. Diana, Raban, Louise, Glow. Thank you, everybody. Classic Slasher. Wonderful to see you, babe. Violet. Hi, honey. So nice to see you, love. Again, thank you guys for popping in. And Luminous Marina, you're first in the house tonight, which of course means that you're tied with Violet. Dina's just passing time. Thank you, everybody. Feeling my soul. Thank you, guys. All right, I will see you again in give me about 15 minutes so I can go ahead and do the storytellings for our winners. The Genie Veil, Brody 6991, Dragon Fortnite, and Silver Linings. So I will post that video link right there in the description box as soon as I'm done recording it, okay? All right, everybody. Wendy, that's hilarious. That's great, though. And thank you. Loving light. Thank you again, babe. So generous. All right, you guys. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.